Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sandy Ainley. I hope each one of you are well. This evening, I thought I'd do just mainly one topic, and that's to read to you. I have had some feedback, and it would be, I think, appreciated if I would read to each one of you. I just so wish to clarify that my usage of a fan is not necessarily the same reason that a lady or a chap external to myself would use a fan for. I do have feedback from the doctor that I must keep myself as cool as possible because I'm prone to dizziness and a type of a fainting type action. So I hope that clears the matter up if necessary, and I shall go on to reading. By the way, I hope you like my new outfit. I shall show it to you. It's a dress. It's got lovely work there, and then it's a skirt after that. And the skirt's kind of longer at the sides, pointedly, and shorter at the front, and it's what I would describe anyway as stylish. And I have my baby with me today, I'm happy to say. Bear with me please and I'll show you properly. There we are, there's little Oreo. Ori, you gonna say hello to the audience, sweetie? I bought Oreo a new toy yesterday. Please have a look. And it squeaks. It's more of a dog toy really, however, I thought with it being a shoe, a skate, the cat would probably identify with it from the point of view of having seen lots of humans' feet and legs and shoes, etc. So, I'm just going to bear with me, please. I'm just going to have a drink. I've just made myself a lovely cold drink of cold fridge water mixed with a type of a cherry type of cordial, no added sugar one. So excuse me, please. Thank you. It's always good to have water beside when one's singing and reading. So, reading the Queen book, Elizabeth II, the late. I don't need my glasses now, don't mind saying. In 1945, in February, the Princess joined the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service as an honorary second subaltern. She's trained as a driver and mechanic and was promoted to honorary junior commander a few months later. 1947, a big year. The Princess went on her first overseas tour with her parents. On the 9th of July, her engagement to Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark was announced. Philip then gave up his Greek and Danish titles and adopted his mother's British family surname, Mountbatten. He was created Duke of Edinburgh, just before Elizabeth and Philip married on 20 November at Westminster Abbey. 1948. On 14 November, Prince Charles, now His Royal Highness King Charles III, was born. At the time, the royal couple lived near Windsor Castle at Wiltshire Moor. 1949. Elizabeth, Philip and baby Charles moved to Clarence House in London on 4 July. 1950. Elizabeth and Margaret's beloved and trusted former governess, Marion Crawford, published The Little Princess, a book of anecdotes about her life with the young princesses. This breach of trust was never forgotten or forgiven, and any future betrayals were referred to as doing a Crawford. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, was born on 15 August. 1952. Elizabeth was proclaimed Queen on the 6th February on the death of her father, King Charles VI. She heard the news while away on tour in Kenya. 1953. The coronation took place on 2 June in Westminster Abbey. On 24 November, the Queen and Prince Philip began a 6-month tour of the Commonwealth. (1954). In May, the Queen and Prince Philip returned home on board the newly commissioned Royal Yacht Britannia to a rapturous welcome from the British public. 1960. Prince Andrew was born on 19 February. Elizabeth was the first reigning monarch to give birth since Queen Victoria, whose youngest child, Princess Beatrice, was born in 1857. Princess Margaret married Anthony Armstrong Jones, Lord Snowdon, on 6 May. 1964. Prince Edward was born on 10 March. 1969. Prince Charles' investiture as Prince of Wales took place at Caernarfon Castle on 1 July. 1970. The first ever royal walkabout took place during the Queen's visit to Australia and New Zealand with Prince Philip. 1977. Silver Jubilee celebrations marked 25 years on the throne. Princess Anne gave birth to Peter Phillips, the first of the Queen and Prince Philip's grandchildren, on 15 November. 1978. Princess Margaret and Lord Snowdon divorced. 1981. the engagement of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer was announced on 24 February. Their wedding took place on the 29 July in St. Paul's Cathedral. Princess Anne's second child, Zara Phillips, was born on 15 May. The Queen was shot at during the trooping of the colour on 13 June. 17-year-old Marcus Sargent fired since 6 blanks and was quickly arrested. The Queen crashed her startled horse and carried on with the procession. I beg your pardon. The Queen calmed her startled horse and carried on with the procession. The last sentence was I corrected it. I don't mind having said. So I hope that you found that informative and interesting and fun. I certainly did. I thought that I'd read from the Queen book as opposed to going through the... sorry, I just remembered to speak up. I thought I'd go through some of the Queen book as opposed to the design book I was reading out of late on a video to yourself, as a result of the fact that it's more current to what's generally taking place in the world presently. Pardon me, please, sorry. Little embarrassing to burp on air, so to speak. So one point I wish to make is that I feel an improvisation turning up, arriving, taking place. I wasn't going to say all of this, however, I feel a sense of needing to improvise, like one does when one's learning theatre studies and acting. I'm getting the hang of speaking up more than not speaking up. However, I'm still at a stage where I haven't quite got the hang of doing it all the time, and I'm getting there, so please bear with me. I think and hope that you can appreciate that it's habit and one needs to learn to get into the habit of speaking up. I do talk in a bit of a posh voice, so I tend to say my words as if there's a ball in my mouth, and that sometimes can make it very difficult to understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you're into that type of idea of what I've just said, that I'm trying to speak up. Bear with me, please. I don't know if I mentioned I'm making a lovely coffee, and that would be super once it's cooler. You might laugh. When I was in Harrow yesterday, about 3 people asked me if I was Barbie. Well, the hair does give you a bit of that feel. And I don't know if you can tell, and I can tell, I had my eyebrows done yesterday at Harrow as well. I had a patch test the day before yesterday to see if I was allergic to the pencil, and I wasn't. So yesterday I had my eyebrows done with a pencil, professionally. It cost me £8. I think that's a lot. And it only took about 5 minutes, so But I do notice a difference. My eyebrows are looking much more profound, I think's the word. I still think that it was not much of a job for me to have to pay £8. However, that's what I agreed to, so I was, in that particular context, I was incorrect. However, I paid it. I am a lady of my word. If I go for something, I pay for it. And I wish to say that I have new duvet covers and new pillowcases. I can't show you the ones in the bedroom right now because I'm not feeling up to it. However, what I am going to do is show you the design on one of the pillowcases. What do you think of that? Isn't that just so cute? And it says tulips. And my other duvet cover and pillowcases are pastel coloured hearts. Surprise, surprise, with Sandy. I might be going away again. However, this time I have to wait until we find out if the hotel shall be available in December. And also, I'm having my operation in about 3 weeks' time. So I don't know if I shall be well enough to go on holiday. It's only a local hotel in St Albans, and I live in North Harrow, so we're talking of a half an hour drive, you know, 3/4 of an hour at the most. So it's very important that I don't go far away, as I've probably said already to yourself. If I've already said it, please forgive me. As you probably well know by now, I suffer with slight age orientated, I think one says, memory loss. So when I woke up this morning, I had a Tom Mills video on, and I tend not to play Tom Mills' video as a result of the fact that I just don't. I'm not a gossipy type. However, I choose for my own self-worth to not subscribe to Tom Mills' work. Occasionally, I may just have a browse around Tom's latest work. However, I decided that I'm not going to use Tom as one of my main video watching session. I watch the Inghams daily, most days anyway, and I like to watch the Busby children. They're so cute. And I love Tom's children. And there's nothing very detrimental on the subject of Tom. It's just that I think what it is I'm so British and Tom's very American, I don't mind having said. And maybe that maybe we clash a bit. But again, it's not a criticism of me and it's not a criticism of Tom. Each to one's own, you know. But there is a history. However, I'm not going to bore you with the details because I've got much better things to talk about. One of which is that I'm celebrating my late father's life again, and that starts tonight, tomorrow, and goes up until Saturday coming, when I shall be in synagogue, and my late father's name shall be read out in a synagogue service. And then afterwards there'll be something called a kiddush, which means like a little prayer and then some nibbles to eat and drink, wine and maybe some soft drinks and possibly fruit juice and biscuits and cakes and sandwiches, salmon and cream cheese, little baby sandwiches and nuts and crisps and sweets and all types of little nibbles, you know, really, really, I don't mind saying the word classy. And I'm really impressed by this particular synagogue, which I'm a member of, I'm happy to say. Not that I go to synagogue much, however, synagogue is important for me and my brother, who are going to be, excuse me for talking on the subject, we're going to be buried beside each other. And it's all connected to the synagogue, so it's a bit of a interesting idea because one has to pay for membership at synagogue. And I don't know if I really agree with that, but who am I to judge? So maybe I'm incorrect, you know. So it's just that when it comes to religion, that's what I mean by finding a lot of religiousness. I find personally for myself hypocritical. Obviously not in each case. Certainly for me, I'm far too much a broad-minded and freedom type person, freak, for me to get involved in religion in a big way, and that goes for any religion. However, I'm extremely proud that I'm Jewish, extremely proud that I'm half Israeli, and I love being half British. I'm proud of myself, I love myself, and I don't need to worry on subject of anything because I'm so proud that nobody can hurt me anyway by saying anything to me. Like one lady once called me a fat Jew. Now, I had some advice on that after I heard the lady say that, and I was advised that if the lady would say anything to that effect again, that I was just to say that was illegal to say that to me. But luckily it didn't happen again, and I haven't seen the lady for maybe 20 years, so I'll leave it at that. I just, you know, well, I don't think you do know. I don't believe in getting into that type of element with someone. Each person to one's own, and that's it. You know, there's larger people, smaller people, taller people, shorter people. You know, it just doesn't matter, does it, what one looks like and one's culture. And it matters just so much as one's to be proud of who one is. Each person on this earth is to be proud of each person's upbringing, culture, colour, religion, sexuality, anything one is to be proud of, except for anything that's detrimental and dangerous and negative, in my opinion. Oh, and I was reading to a little child yesterday, my neighbour's grandchild, sorry. And I really enjoyed it. And the little girl was kind of tucking up against me a bit. And I loved that. I felt so motherly. It reminds me of when I used to go to Israel for about 2.5 months at a time to stay with my lovely late aunt, Yael. And the lady lived in a place called Petach Tikva, which is near Tel Aviv, if you know Tel Aviv at all, or have heard of Tel Aviv. And I had my two little child cousins, Danit and Guy. And Danit was, at the time, was only about 5 years of age. And Danit and I were just as sisters. We just loved each other so much. We used to put on little childlike shows to the rest of the family, and it was just really cool, you know. And now Danit is a professional dancer. I trained to be what I hoped was going to develop towards and thought and believed that was going to go toward being a professional dancer. Danit's danced in the Eurovision Song Contest about 30 years ago in the interval, and now teaches Zumba in America. And I'm very disappointed because I loved Danit very much indeed. However, the feeling is not mutual now. The lady's moved on. I asked, can I come and stay with you? The lady said, there's no room in my flat, which is a lot of absolute as a result of the fact that I've seen a picture and there's a very, very nice spacious flat there. So I ain't prone to being lied to, and I'm sorry to say on this occasion I've been porcupined to, or if you prefer, lied to. It's a very good assumption on my part. If I'm incorrect, please forgive me. And I have now just decided myself to move on, and I was very hurt for about 3 or 4 years. I was really, really hurt. And in the end, I just thought to myself, what am I doing being hurt? What am I achieving? So I just moved on myself, and it's not my loss. I'm still me. I haven't lost anything. So, so be it. If I shall see the lady, I shall be most civil. However, as far as any sisterly love is concerned, finito, comprendo the lingo. Gosh, I'm very lively for this time of the evening. What time is it at the moment? I'll just read out. 10:24. The time sponsored by Sandy Ainley's phone is 10:24 p.m. and I don't know how many seconds. Thank you very much indeed for watching me, and thank you very much indeed for taking the time, your precious time, and please take care of yourselves, and please take care of one another, and Shalom, which is Hebrew for hello, peace.